So Phil Wickham has completely taken over the Christian praise and worship music scene. He's an incredible writer, incredible singer, works with some really awesome people on a lot of different projects. It seems like every single thing he does and every single thing he touches turns to gold. And so today I wanted to show you my approach for making a song, making a Christian praise and worship song in the style of Phil Wickham. So we're going to make it all on the spot. But before we do that, my name is Connor Edwards. I'm a producer. If you enjoy content like this, make sure that you are subscribed. I really appreciate it. And let me know if you have an artist or a style that you want me to kind of try to break down and show you how I would make that and produce that. Let me know in the comments below. And now let's hop in. So I've noticed for a lot of these Phil Wickham type songs, even though he is a guitar player usually when you see him, that these songs a lot of times start with piano. So I'm in the key of G major, 78 BPM, working in Logic obviously, but I'm gonna lay down some piano for like the intro and then a verse, and then we'll kind of go from there. So here we go. Not low enough. And keyscape. Now, I don't like to quantize much of this because I want it to have that realistic feel, like I did just play it, because I did. So I will take all of the notes and then drag them like to that start point, which would be like right there, and then drag that to the one. So then there's our first chord, and I'll take those and try to like extend them out close. What I don't like not having a sustain pedal, because then I feel like I can't fully play it the right way, but okay. So I would say for the intro, that works. Now, what we will do is go ahead and copy that piano over a couple times for the verse. Then right here, we are going to have a pre-chorus. So usually I feel like these songs have, and it kind of depends on the song, but usually they have a couple of passes of like a verse, 4 bars or whatever. So then 8 bars total, then a pre-chorus, then a chorus. We are going to do a couple of different chord structures here. So the first one will be the pre-chorus. We are just going to go to, so let's see, we were the 1 and the 4, 1 and the 4. So then what if we go, and we kind of work our way around there. So let's lay that down. All right, so I went back up to that D major chord there at the end of that. Let's kind of nudge these to where they need to be for our piano. Those are a little late, so we kind of get them a little bit closer. And cut that off. Okay, so then I've noticed that a lot of Phil Wickham songs, and a lot of praise songs in general, they don't go back to that verse structure that we had, which was just, oh my, definitely not that, which is, they don't do that as much as they start on this 4, which is the C, so like, and then, that usually is like the structure for a ton of these songs. So we're gonna go with that for our chorus. So here we go. And to process it, first of all, we'll turn it down just a hair. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is add a bass. So I like to, and I've been using this ample bass a lot. It's totally free. And what I like to do is to drag these same MIDI notes down. Okay, and then obviously get rid of all of these. So we just have single notes. And then sometimes I like to perfectly align these, because if you did have a bass player, then they wouldn't necessarily be playing the exact same time as the piano. And so sometimes you can like perfectly align this and it goes better with your drums, and then your piano can be a little bit more humanized and it all can fit in sometimes. So let's kind of see where we're at with this bass. Okay, then I like to use Logic's bass amp. I'm just doing it on that modern dynamic setting. I like to add infinity bass. Cool. Okay, so I like where we are. Now let's add some guitar. Camera, the first thing I did was I double tracked the acoustic in most parts except for this pre-chorus, and then into the chorus it kind of sounds like this. And all I'm doing there is a tiny bit of EQ in virtual mix track, a little bit more EQ with the FGN, a little bit of compression, and then some saturation with revival. And then I'm sending it to a delay, guitar delay, and a guitar reverb, super long, but that's why I'm just sending it, and I think it sounds good. The next thing that I did was this electric lead. DI for that sounds like this. So then I'm just processing that with the Tone King Imperial binaural DSP, and it sounds like this. Love that amp. And then I also did, for the chorus, I did these strums here, and I also processed those with the Tone King, did some things a little bit differently, and then post EQ'd them just a little bit so they sound like this. Put everything together. The next thing that I want to do, that I feel like I hear in a lot of Phil Wickham and praise and worship style songs, is I just want to add almost like a static droning type of pad. So for this, we're going to use Serum, and I like this preset from friends at Make Pop Music, A World Away. So then, and then for these pads, and what I noticed in Christian music and praise and worship music a lot, is that if you use the first and the fifth note, you get a pad that sounds like this. Perfect. Okay. Next thing that I'm going to do is add some drums. So I've heard a lot of these like filtered, perk loops. go into the chorus, our drums, I found this tom loop. I feel like in Christian music today, if you don't have a hard-hitting tom loop, then you got nothing. This Austin Davis sample pack, and there was a file in there that was perfect for what I needed, and then I'm layering it with these snares, so all together it kind of sounds like this. Just the tom loop, just the snare layer, just to give it a little more beef and punch. Like super strong snare. And then with everything again. Now I feel like we're ready for vocals. We've got the song written, and I kind of just typed my words. I had this concept of like 3 days, so on day 1 and then on day 3, and referencing obviously resurrection. And so I wrote out my verse, pre-chorus, and then the chorus, and so recorded all of those. So I've got main vocal, just kind of usual suspects, reverb, compression, that sort of thing. I try to have a pretty bright vocal, so the main vocal on its own kind of sounds like this. Hallelujah. On day 3 the storm rolled away. And then recorded all of these backing vocals, so a duplicate on the left and on the right, and then a harmony, and those are panned left and right also, and they kind of sound like this for the chorus. But hallelujah, on day 3 the storm rolled away. Hallelujah. And I processed those very similarly. Just cut out a lot of low end on those, and then I'm actually going to DS those a lot harder. On day 3, there was an empty grave. I don't want many S's coming from that at all, because I've got plenty coming from the main vocal. And so then if you put everything together with an intro, a verse, a pre-chorus, and a chorus, it sounds like this. On day 1 I was hopeless. On day 1 I was lost. On day 1 I was broken, bound for hell, a sinner, needing rescue from it all. A price had been paid and he was dead. And there we go. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you found that helpful, please throw this video a like, leave a comment which artist you want me to try next, and see you next time.